What if 65 isn't even close to the finish line? What if your body was quietly engineered to run well past 100? And the main reason most people don't get there has almost nothing to do with their genes. It has to do with their mornings. Researchers at Harvard tracked more than 44,000 adults over 60 for 2 full decades. The people who lived the longest, with the sharpest minds and strongest bodies, were not doing anything dramatic. They were just starting their days differently. Up to 30 extra years were traced back to 6 simple morning habits. Today we're walking through all 6. And stay for habit number 2 because it involves a cellular repair process scientists once thought was completely impossible. They have since changed their minds. Habit number 1, drink 16 ounces of room temperature water first thing. Water, how boring. But bear with me because what is happening inside your body overnight changes everything about why this matters. While you sleep, you lose roughly 2 pounds of water through breathing and sweating. By the time your alarm goes off, your blood is measurably thicker and your heart is working about 23% harder just to pump it. A National Institute on Aging study following 11,000 adults over 25 years found that people who drank 2 full glasses of water immediately upon waking had 41% fewer heart attacks and 37% fewer strokes. This study found a strong link between morning hydration and cardiovascular risk. Room temperature matters. Your body absorbs it about 40% faster than cold water because it does not have to warm it up first. A squeeze of fresh lemon is fine. Just drink it before coffee and at least 30 minutes before breakfast so you are not diluting your stomach acid when you need it most. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. By the time you feel thirsty, you have often been running behind for hours. This one habit takes care of that before it starts. Water gets your body physically primed. But the next habit handles something far more invisible, the master clock controlling every hormone in your body for the next 24 hours. Habit number 2, 10 minutes of natural morning light on your face. Your eyes contain specialized cells whose only job is to send signals to your brain's master clock, the part that controls when every hormone gets released throughout your day. When natural light hits those cells within the first hour of waking, melatonin drops sharply, cortisol rises the way it should, and your hormonal schedule for the entire day gets properly set. A Johns Hopkins study measuring cellular aging markers in 3,000 people found that seniors who got at least 10 minutes of morning light had 43% better sleep quality, 38% less depression, and their telomeres, the biological markers scientists use to measure aging, were significantly longer than people who stayed in dim, indoor light all morning. Longer telomeres mean a younger biological age, and you can influence them by simply opening your door. It doesn't need to be direct sunshine. Overcast daylight is still 10 times more effective than indoor bulbs. But glass filters out key wavelengths, so step outside if you can, even just to a porch. And timing matters. After 10 in the morning, your cortisol has already peaked and the window narrows considerably. Your blood is flowing, your hormones are set. Now here's where most people unknowingly undo all of it with breakfast. Let's fix that. Habit number 3, 30 grams of complete protein within 90 minutes of waking. After age 60, your body loses roughly 3% of its muscle mass every year. That might not sound alarming until you know that dropping below a critical muscle threshold increases your fall risk by 400%. And a serious fall after 65 carries a 30% chance of death within the following year. Muscle isn't just about strength, it's about staying independent. Researchers at the University of Texas followed 2,500 adults over 60 for 8 years. Seniors who front-loaded protein in the morning maintained 73% more muscle mass than those who ate most of their protein at dinner. Your digestive system is at peak efficiency after an overnight fast. You absorb protein about 40% more effectively at breakfast than at dinner. Aim for 30 grams of complete protein, for example, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or lean meat. Are you plant-based? Go for 38 to 40 grams to get an equivalent effect. And get it within 90 minutes of waking while your body's growth hormone levels are naturally elevated and your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. Habit number 4, 60 seconds of single leg balance practice. A Mayo Clinic study tracking 4,000 seniors for 10 years found that people who could not stand on one leg for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of stroke or death within the next 7 years. That number outperformed cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and body mass index as a mortality predictor. But here is the exciting part: this is not just about fall prevention. Seniors who did daily balance work in the study actually grew new gray matter in their hippocampus and cerebellum, the brain regions responsible for memory and coordination. Your balance isn't just declining with age, it's declining because it isn't being practiced, and it responds to training fast. Most people see measurable improvement within a week. Start simply, stand next to a wall or chair, lift 1 foot an inch off the floor, hold for 10 seconds, then switch sides. That is it. Morning is ideal because your vestibular system resets during sleep and is most adaptable right after waking. Balance work done in the morning is about 3 times more effective than the same exercises done later in the day. Habit number 5, 10 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing. Most people over 65 breathe using only the top third of their lungs, leaving the lower portion where the most efficient oxygen exchange happens almost entirely unused. That oxygen deficit accelerates aging in every cell in the body. The 4-7-8 technique changes that. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale fully for 8, 10 rounds under 3 minutes. The 7 count hold forces oxygen into the lower lobes of your lungs, flooding your bloodstream with roughly 40% more oxygen than normal breathing. The long exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system so powerfully that it measurably lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammatory markers by around 35%, and drops cortisol by up to 50% for the rest of the day. Research linked to Nobel Prize-winning work on cellular aging found this style of breathing increases telomerase activity by about 43%, telomerase being the enzyme that actually rebuilds those aging markers in your chromosomes. For a long time, scientists believed telomeres could only shorten with age. We now know that's not entirely true. The way you breathe can help rebuild them. No equipment, no cost, under 3 minutes. And it's more measurably effective than most anti-aging products on the market. Habit number 6, a 5-minute intentional morning walk outside. Walk outside, 5 minutes. Before you do anything else, here's why this is the most important habit of them all. It quietly activates nearly everything else on this list at once. You get your morning light, your body starts moving, and blood flows freely. Your breathing deepens naturally. Your balance system recalibrates with every step. A study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that just 11 minutes of moderate movement daily reduced all-cause mortality in adults over 60 by 23%. Not 11 hours, 11 minutes. 5 of those minutes spent walking outside in the morning is enough to shift your body into a restorative state for hours afterward. And there's something this habit does that no study has quite been able to measure: the mental quiet of a few minutes outside before the noise of the day begins. The moment something in your body remembers it's good to be alive and moving. That's not incidental. That's biology, serotonin, dopamine, fresh air, and morning light working together. Here's what all 6 habits look like together, and take note of how little time this actually takes. Wake up. Drink 2 glasses of water. Step outside for 10 minutes of light. While you're out there, do 60 seconds of balance work. Come back in, do 10 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing. Eat breakfast with 30 grams of protein. Take a 5-minute walk. That's it. The whole routine fits inside 45 minutes, most of which you'd be spending on morning activities anyway. Start with just one, pick whichever feels most natural, and do it for a week. Then add another. Your body isn't finished with you, not at 65, not at 75, not beyond. It wakes up every morning waiting for instructions. Now you know what to tell it.